how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay, hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Work with me.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast. Talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat right now. We got Michael, we got Vin, we got Sports Hits. Appreciate y'all for being here in the chat right now. We're going to have a good, fun-filled show for you guys today. Earlier this morning, we did hear Monty Ossenfort speak on Arizona Sports 98.7. We are going to make a separate video on that a little later on, probably be about an hour after this live stream ends. I just got to get all the editing done and everything to go ahead and send that out to you guys. But today, we're going to mainly focus on, obviously, Kyler Murray spoke with the media yesterday, talking about what he thinks about the 2024 Arizona Cardinals and the fact that he's still positive, right? He's still positive about the 2024 Arizona Cardinals. And if you look at it, we still got a lot of games left, right? So a lot of different things can happen for the Cardinals, but we are going to have a good, fun-filled show. Let me go ahead and give a huge shout out here to the sponsors of the video. BetUS, if you're looking for a brand new sports book, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they will provide you a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and a 125% sign-up bonus on the following two. That is going to be up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150 upon signing up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go and get started here. Let's talk about the most recent things that we've been hearing from Kyler Murray and everything that we've heard so far. And yeah, let's get started here. So, of course, positivity is still the name of the game right now. We're hearing it from JG. We're hearing it from Kyler. We're hearing it from Drew Petzing. I'm not sure. Well, I guess, Monty seemed a little positive as well. I mean, if you got to think about it here, right? Yes, we're 2-4. Not ideal. Obviously, we'd all rather be 500 or obviously above 500, but this was a tough part of the schedule. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say the Cardinals are going to destroy the Chargers because I don't know. I really don't know what team this is going to be. I truly don't. But one thing that we can say is that the positivity is definitely good, right? The sky isn't falling quite yet for the players, this coaching staff, this front office, which is definitely good. Now, this is what Kyler Murray said about obviously trying to keep positive and feeling like he can turn things around. And this is what Kyler Murray said when asked about is positivity the way to go, right, for this Cardinals organization. And this is what he said.
Being positive and encouraged also a part of, you feel like you guys are close.
The remaining positive?
Staying positive like you were. You've been.
Yeah, no, I mean, last game was pretty bad. But that's just, again, it happens in this league. I think we had a great week last week, but on Sunday we didn't put it together. But I also think, yes, we do have to remain positive because we know what we have in there. It's not like we hit rock bottom. So I don't think anybody's giving up on what we can accomplish or anything like that. Again, I got full faith and confidence in all the guys in the locker room.
Okay, a couple different things, right? Very, very loaded answer right there. But I think what it comes down to it here is he's right? You got to stay positive at the end of the day. It's 6 games in. There's a total of 17 games in the 2024 season. He's got confidence that they can turn it around. And I hope so. I really do. Because hearing what Monty Ossenfort ended up saying earlier this morning on Arizona Sports, and like I said, I'm going to make that video a little later on, probably about an hour after we're ending this live stream. I just got to figure out all the or finish all the edits. The front office thinks that we got enough to be able to stay within games, right? To be able to win games and hang with the best teams out there, right? Maybe not win them. So to hear Kyler Murray come out and say this is obviously good, right? You don't want him to say all these negative things and have this locker room kind of turn against each other. That's the last thing we need, especially in a year two rebuild when Jonathan Gannon is saying all the positive things to kind of turn this around. And honestly, right now, as a fan base, I understand it. I get y'all. I understand there's a lot of Cardinal fans right now that's already told me that this is going to be the last straw for them. This game right here on Monday Night Football, and if they don't fix it out, they're shutting off 2024. Now, I'm not that type of fan. I'm going to watch, even though my head might be buried inside a couch. I'm going to be watching through and through. It sucks. It hurts that the Cardinals aren't in a stance where we're feeling positive or feeling good about this organization, but you got to really think about it. Like there's a lot of games left. There's definitely a lot of games left. Now, Kyler Murray was also asked about the third downs in terms of the first 2 weeks, about how good we looked in the first 2 weeks. Now, let's call it like it is. The Rams game, that was so far seemed like an anomaly, right? I thought that, man, that was just a glimpse of what the Cardinals can become. And hearing what Kyler Murray was saying about, bet the over and doesn't put a limit on this offense, that was really that game where I'm like, man, is that what we can look like? Is that what Marvin Harrison Jr. can look like? And obviously, that kind of seems like the outlier as of right now with the six game sample size that we have so far. But this is what he said about the third downs, the comparing the first 2 games of the season, Bills and Rams, and obviously following the next 4, which we've been struggling a lot in third downs. And this is what Kyler Murray had to say about that.
Success the first 2 weeks on third down. The last 4 weeks it hasn't. How much have you looked at that with Drew or whatever going forward to figure out just to be better on third down?
Again, attention to detail. Not only me, but everybody, you know what I'm saying? That starts with me, but we'll be better. We will be better. I'm confident in that. You've seen that we can do it, so we just got to lock in and be better on third down and execute. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, I truly don't know like what to expect, right? I mean, well, I guess I do expect. I guess what my expectations are. I guess that's the best way to say. My expectations are is to get an answer, like, right? And JG and Kyler Murray right now, they're speaking in unison, and I guess you got to give them credit for that because culture is being built with obviously speaking the same message, but like, I don't know. It's just so weird. It's so odd that this Arizona Cardinals organization right now is struggling so mightily when it comes down to, this third down efficiency. But I mean, like the way they talk about it, they seem like they can fix it. They seem like they can fix it. Like they're not worried about it. Now, granted, yes, it's only 6 games in, and we got 11 more games in the season. They have plenty of time to fix it. That's the truth. It's just I don't want this to be swept under the rug because it's a big deal, right? It's a big deal. It's one of those things as to like why the Cardinals are losing, because we're keeping our defense on the field for much longer than they should be, where our offense can't really seem to figure it out. Now, obviously, we had 2 blowout games already. We got the Commanders game, which nobody ever wants to see again, and we also had the Green Bay Packers game, which nobody ever wants to see again. We don't want to see any more of these blowouts. They're not a step in the right direction. It's not a good look for the Cardinals to look clunky. It's not a good look for the bright spot of this team, the offense, to not look in sync, right? And this is one of those things where I've been talking about, right? Everybody deserves a look in the mirror, right? And I'm talking about everybody. Everybody who plays on the offensive side of the ball, including Drew Petzing, needs to look in the mirror and really figure out what's going on. So, although I guess I'm not gonna say happy, but proud of the thought of, they're them speaking the same language, and that's obviously Kyler as well as, JG. It doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies that this is gonna be fixed. I'm not sure if you guys get the warm and fuzzies in your stomach about this getting fixed, but to me, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a little. I feel like just my time of being a Cardinals fan, usually these things don't get corrected. Usually, right? But I'm just going based off of history. I get it. Obviously, Kyler Murray is a different quarterback. This is a brand new regime. So, I mean, if I'm going to leave on the positive side, I would say, yes, let's think positive and everything's going to be hunky-dory. But I don't know. There's somewhere deep inside my soul, somewhere deep inside my heart that I remember the history of being Cardinals or following this organization for as long as I have. Usually, it doesn't work out for us. But I'm going to choose to be positive here, and hopefully they can get it corrected. They obviously know it's an issue, and let's see what happens. Now, this next one I really want to highlight here is the inconsistencies. Now, I've been saying this here for quite some time in terms of my biggest frustration from the Arizona Cardinals organization so far is inconsistent play, right? And I know I'm not going to get too much deep into this, but there's not a lot of people that agree, especially with specific players. They don't think it's on a specific player, but they think it's on, the scheme, which obviously I think it's everything. Personally, I think it's scheme. I think it's Drew. I think it's players. I think it's everything. The inconsistencies start with, snapping the ball and when the clock strikes, 15 minutes. Like it just starts from the beginning. A lot of people don't agree with me there, but Monty Austinford agrees with me. Monty Austinford says that the frustrations within the Cardinals right now, well, not within the Cardinals, but how he sees it is the inconsistencies as well. And who said that? Inconsistencies that's where my frustrations lie as well. But let's talk about what Kyler Murray had to say in terms of inconsistencies, and this is what he had to say.
You talked about how you guys had a good week last week, and then what happened in Green Bay happened. Do you have an idea of what team's going to show up on Sundays at any point until the game happens? And what's that like knowing?
No, I mean I don't go into the game thinking, oh, we're gonna lay an egg today. I don't think that. It's hard to tell until you get out there and bullets start flying. Like it's
Nervous laugh.
We had 13 penalties, 3 turnovers. That's a recipe for disaster against anybody. So we could have played anybody. It didn't matter. We were going to lose the game playing like that. So.
I mean, he's right. He's right. The thing that I don't like, the thing that I don't feel like is being addressed very, very much is he's right in terms of 13 penalties, right? He's right in terms of turnovers. He's right there. But what I would like to be more addressed is to focus on where this game went away from the Cardinals, right? Because let's not act like the 3 turnovers were a big factor, right? Now, penalties were a factor, but the penalties were happening all game, right? From the first half to the second half, it was just a consistent beat yourself backwards, and you just couldn't get to the other side of the other on the right side of things is what I'm trying to say. But like, I don't want to sit here and act like that's like the sole reason as to why the Cardinals lost. Of course, penalties make a big impact on, trying to create a drive where you're converting third downs, but you're constantly beating yourself, and these pre-snap penalties are a big killer. That's factual. But like, we also got to remember that this offense went 3 straight 3-and-outs, right? And then they couldn't get the job done. And yes, you can blame penalties. Yes, you can do that. But I mean, that should be the biggest focus point on. And I don't want the 13 penalties and the 3 turnovers, which happened in the second half, and the game was already over by the time the second half already hit. We were already down 24-0 by the time the Cardinals started to score points, right? The 7 points with Michael Wilson, and then that 3 points that we ended up getting interception from Jordan Love. So like, we were chugging away at it, but like, the bigger problem to me is what happened in that first half, right? Like, can you describe to me why we're going 3-and-out, why we're just looking not very good? Like I said, and I'm not sitting here and try to discredit the answer. It's just I feel like we're getting the same things over and over again, and it's kind of getting to the point where in one ear and out the other, and we got to see how the rest of the season lies. And like I said, I'm going to lean on the side of positivity. Can the Cardinals turn it around? Yes, they absolutely can. They can turn this around. Will they? I don't know. Right? Your guess is as good as mine. But let's talk about this one. There's 2 questions on this next soundbite, and of course, you're going to constantly be asked about Marvin. It's just the way that it is. Marvin Harrison Jr. was the 4th overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. I don't think there's going to be any time that Kyler Murray will not be asked a Marvin Harrison Jr. question. And if you're getting annoyed by it, well, let's have the Cardinals fix it, and then those will go away. But right now, within 6 weeks, it still seems like there is a clunk fest. And I guess it seems like it's just inconsistencies, right, when it comes down to their offense. So, of course, Kyler was asked about the throw where Marvin was doing one route, and then you had Kyler Murray doing a completely other thing. Now, Kyler Murray did take credit or he took blame for it. He said that was on me, and I actually do give him kudos for that in terms of taking fault of that. But let me play this soundbite here real quick here when he was asked about why are we still seeing the miscommunications between Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. in week 6, and this is what Kyler had to say.
That third down on the first drive, Mark said it was your fault.
Yeah.
Why do you think that those miscommunications are still happening 6 weeks in?
It's getting fixed. It's gotten fixed. Yeah.
You should have to game that.
Real quick, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt them. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt them. I this is what I see. This is what I've seen from this organization. Because he doesn't answer it, right? All he says is it's getting fixed, or it's got fixed, But has it? Like, I don't think you can say that. And I'm not trying to badger on the fact of, hey, Kyler Murray, you need to answer this question, but you kind of do, right? Like, I don't know. But I guess if I think of it on the other side, like there's really no answer that anybody can't twist. So I guess I don't have a problem with it, but I kind of do. It's one of those things, like it's a double-edged sword, right? Because he's saying that, yeah, oh, it's got fixed. We got it fixed, but like we haven't still. And we're heading into week 7 still with those questions. So let me replay it back again, and I apologize for the interruption.
That third down now, the first try, Kamara said it was your fault.
Yeah.
Why do you think that those miscommunications are still happening 6 weeks in?
It's getting fixed. It's gotten fixed. Yeah.
You said after the game that the offensive issues are fixable. Besides just execution, which you guys talk a lot about it on Sunday, what's the process and what goes into fixing offensive issues?
You got to practice. You got to practice the right way. And you got really lock in. I mean, again, I forgot how many pre-snap penalties, but 13 penalties as a whole is not acceptable. It's not good football. So that in itself is, it can't happen. Can't happen.
Agree. Can't happen. I 100% agree with you there, Kyler Murray. And I want you to fix this. I really do. Like I'm not. And there might be some people out there that feel like I'm just constantly on Kyler, but that's the quite opposite, right? Like I need this guy to succeed. I want him to succeed. I want him to be able to fix what's going on, but you cannot deny the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. And the elephant in the room is that there's inconsistencies throughout the entirety of this offense, which is supposed to be the bright spot. And because he's a quarterback, and I don't care if it was Joe Schmo at quarterback, or I don't care if it was, any other quarterback that's probably top 10, top 12 in your eyes. I would say the exact same thing if the Cardinals were in the situation that we are. This isn't a personal attack on a specific player. This is a what's happening and why can't we fix it type of question mark. And of course, because front and center, Kyler Murray being the franchise quarterback, you got to ask these questions. And I don't know. I'm just not seeing. I'm not feeling the warm and fuzzies that I would love to feel. Let me give a shout out here to my guy Alex. What's up, brother, man? Appreciate you for being here. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in an absolute long time. Thanks for being here, man. He says this: I appreciate Kyler's positive optimism, but as a lifelong Cardinals fan, I've seen this before. I'm not as positive with the way things are going. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, boom, boom. Here we go. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. Thank you so very much. And I agree with you. And it's not, I've seen a lot of comments out there, right, where people say the Cardinals are one of the most toxic fan bases I've seen out there. I mean, then you're not paying attention, because I almost promise you there's a portion of every single fan base in the NFL, all 32 teams, with maybe the exception of the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are always freaking winning and they're always getting Super Bowls, with the exception of maybe them. But or maybe when the Patriots are on, when they're on their spree with Tom Brady. Every organization has fan bases, or a portion of fan base that is like this, right? So let's not act like, oh, the Cardinals are toxic. You probably feel that way because they're attacking your beloved quarterback. That's probably why you feel a certain type of way. But you really got to think about it here, ladies and gentlemen. The Arizona Cardinals fan base, they're tired of losing. They're tired of losing. We have not had success in what seems to be maybe heading into year 3 of not success. Now I get it. And the year 1 that I'm talking about, that's not Jonathan Gannon's fault, but it all kind of groups together with the constant losing, right? That's where the frustration lies for Cardinals that have been watching this team for a very, very long time. I'm not one of those guys that's going to walk away from this organization. We've been through this before. We've been through bumps and bruises. Does it suck? Does it hurt? Yes, it does. But I'm personally not going anywhere. But, there's a portion of the fan base that has straight up told me, I'm waiting till this loss on Monday night and I'm done for the season. Like, I'm not even lying to you. There's a portion that's been watching for 20 plus years and they're done. That they don't have the confidence that this team is going to be able to turn it around, right? And that's one of those things where you can be positive all you want, and that's your prerogative. But to me, I'm leaning on the hope of trying to be positive, right? Like I'm right there in the middle. But you can't start the season off 2-5. That right there is what I would love to hear from Jonathan Gannon say is a non-negotiable, right? Like that's what I would love to hear my head coach say, that starting off 2-5 is a non-negotiable. Other than the fact that obviously pre-snap penalties are non-negotiable in their eyes, I would love him to say starting off 2-5 is a non-negotiable. That's unacceptable. Like that's what I would love to hear. And we're just, I don't know, the way that they talk, and I know they want to keep everything in house, and I'm fully aware of that, but we need to light a fire within this organization. We're hearing a lot of car salesman talk when it comes down to speaking to the media. And I get it. Some people might not like the media, and that's fine. I mean, but it's one of those things where you don't need to like the media, but it is their job to obviously talk to them. Maybe not tell them the truth, but it is their job to talk to them. JG, Kyler, all the people that are coming up to the post. But like, I'm hearing all these answers and I'm just not getting the warm and fuzzies that I'm going to be very confident heading into Monday night. Now, of course, if we get a win, then we're talking about a completely different, trajectory of a season heading into week 8. But I'm going to tell you guys right now on this live stream, I'm going to hold my horses. I'm not going to get too darn excited. I'm not going to get above myself unless we see a 2-game winning streak. Like that's the only way that I'm going to get high on the Arizona Cardinals again, because we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it in a very, very long time. I mean, it's getting to the point where the draining of being a fan is starting to set place, right? Like I said, I'm not going anywhere, but it's starting to set, right? It's starting to set. The Cardinals need to win this game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Why Marvin Harrison Jr. is struggling with Kyler Murray, you can blame anybody you want. And I'm talking about chat, everybody else on social media. Blame everybody you want. Drew, Kyler, Marvin. To me, I don't care. I don't care who's at fault. My main priority is fixing it. That's what I'm more interested in. Who's going to step up to the field, step up to the plate, and fix the problem that we've been dealing with for 6 weeks. We're talking about a guy that is brought in as the 4th overall pick in the NFL draft. And I'm not even lying to you. Everybody said this was the best wide receiver coming out of college in a very long time. Does he look a little hesitant on the field? Does he look a little confused on the field? Yes, he does. Do I have a little bit of concerns with Marvin Harrison Jr.? Of course, yeah, there is a little concern because we were promised Maserati Marv, right? And we are seeing a little bit of a hesitancy in his play. But is that because of confusion? Is that because not being, eye to eye with his quarterback? Does he not believe? I don't know. We don't know. We don't know at the end of the day. The most important thing to me is fixing it. I don't care who's at fault. I don't care that you're watching the film and like, oh, he's open here and he should have saw him here. Fix it. These guys are getting paid millions and millions of dollars to fix it. And that's all I'm looking for is an absolute fix. And we're just not getting it right now. So Drew Petzing, I understand he right now within the fan base isn't a fan favorite. He isn't a fan favorite. Somebody asked me, should we fire Drew? I'm not there yet, right? I'm not there. I'm not there and trading, letting go, replacing. I'm not there. Or firing a offensive coordinator. We still got 11 games left, and their job is to fix it. And that's what I'm looking for more than anything, to fix that nobody can seem to fix it. I don't understand. So Marvin and Kyler need to get on the same page. I don't care how many times I have to say this. I don't care how many times they're asked the same question over and over again. You're going to continue to get asked the same question unless it's fixed. So hearing Kyler Murray say this,
that 3rd down now, the first try, Mark said it was your fault.
Yeah.
Why do you think that those miscommunications are still happening 6 weeks in?
It's getting fixed. It's got fixed. Yeah.
So hearing him say it's getting fixed, it's got fixed when it hasn't got fixed, it brings a level of frustration, right? Frustration for Cardinal fans. Now, did we make the wrong choice? No, I don't think the Cardinals made the wrong choice. I think the Cardinals made the right choice in getting their wide receiver 1. They truly believed in him. Cardinal fans were up in arms with it. It's only 6 games. He's a rookie at the end of the day, right? He needs to learn and develop to build that dog within him. Now, if he does have it already, then something else is the problem. We don't know what it is. We're not privy to it, but we just need to figure out what's going on, right? So can this be a situation where this offense just isn't good for Kyler? It's hard to answer that question right now, right? Kyler was raving about how good this offense was going to be and how much of a genius Drew Petzing was. Couple different reasons why. He likes his offense because he doesn't have to play Superman. And he likes that everybody can get involved, right? But what we're seeing so far with this offense is the inconsistencies of the opposite of what we've been hearing so far from Kyler. So I don't know what it is. I really don't. I really don't. It's very telling because Kyler Murray almost kind of seemed like he wanted to say something. I don't know if you guys noticed as well, and I'm going to quote my guy here, Alex, in the chat, says that pause, right? That pause. Yeah, let's play it back because the question was asked, why are we still dealing with this issue, right, in week 6? And Kyler Murray Pause.
That third down on the first drive to Mark, so it was your fault.
Yeah.
Why do you think that those miscommunications are still happening 6 weeks in?
Pause.
It's getting fixed.
It's getting fixed. It's got fixed, he said, right with that pause. He wanted to say something else. I don't know what he wanted to say, but I mean, I get it. I'm not, I don't want him to throw anybody under the bus. I don't want a relationship to be ruined, right? If he feels like it's Marvin, I don't know. I don't know, right? We're only speculating this. He didn't say it, but what I'm saying is I don't know what the pause was there for, right? Maybe he wanted to say something else. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I really don't. We got my guy in the chat, Jason. What's up, Jason? The team has a lot of potential. They're being held back with lack of offensive creativity. Well, I mean, yeah, we're seeing this offense with Drew Petzing. It's weird to see Thursday Night Football, and I'm talking about yesterday's Thursday Night Football, right? Where you see Sean Payton use Bo Nix the way that he used Bo Nix, right? It's very, very weird that the Arizona Cardinals cannot be calling plays like that. Now, obviously, you need to have more of a plays under your belt, but it all starts off with converting that third down. It almost seems like if the Cardinals can't convert the third down, it all goes down from there. Like, I don't know what it is. I really don't. Can the Cardinals use a facelift on offense? Yeah, but I mean, there's really no reason for the Cardinals to not be good, right? Because Michael Wilson, I mean, he's definitely better than the wide receivers that Bo Nix has, right? I mean, at least he's better than one of the guys that went off, right? Can you guys agree with that? That Michael Wilson's probably better than one or two, maybe even three that wide receivers than Bo Nix is actually playing with right now. Like, it's crazy to me that, like, yes, I do believe that offensive creativity is also at play, and that's why I'm one of those guys that says everybody's at fault, right? It's not just Drew Petzing for me. It's everybody's execution. It's the play calls. It's this. It's that. It's everything that's under the sun that needs to be fixed. Like, we need to look ourselves in the mirror, and I'm talking about the players as well as Drew Petzing. And I'm hoping Monty Ossenfort comes down and lays the hammer down, because right now it almost kind of seems like everything's getting brushed under the rug with the way that we're getting these answers, getting these questions answered. And I'm not just talking about Kyler Murray. I'm talking about, Jonathan Gannon as well, because, the momentum thing, it's not one of those things that's a big deal. But, like, one thing that kind of stood out to me was the whole, does momentum carry or is a big deal? And he's always like, preaching the fact that it doesn't carry over and it's a brand new game. And although he's right, there needs to be a level of, you got to remember what just happened, because if you can't remember what just happened, right, and the beatdown that went down, you're not going to want to fight really hard in this next game. Like, every game is very, very crucial for the 2024 Arizona Cardinals. And it's crazy to say, but in October, this is a must-win game in my mind. A must-win game for the Cardinals to get back into the line of, hey, we're believing in this organization. Things can get better and things can get fixed. It's just right now we are in a very, very weird stance with the Cardinals, and it's only up to them, right? I could sit here and speaking to Mike. You guys can chat all you want in the chat, but the real people that are going to fix it is the guys in that organization. That's the only way that's going to be able to get fixed, and I don't understand why it hasn't been so far. Let's go with a couple questions on the chat. We got Salvador. What's up, Salvador? You got to win on first and second down. If you're third down and long every drive, you're not gonna have success. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I've also have said that Drew Petzing almost kind of feels like he's running every single first down. Yeah, Drew Petzing looks pretty rough when it comes down to his play calling. He's definitely he definitely has fault to this as well, because the offensive woes that we're struggling with right now, it's consistently happening, and it's very frustrating. But you're right, 100% right. It does start off with the first and second downs. You need to get positive momentum. You got to get positive momentum to make a third and manageable. And third downs are hard to come across for the Cardinals, because either penalties. I guess we can use that as an excuse for the Green Bay Packers game, but we're always kind of beating ourselves up, right? Decisions, things aren't really doing really well, and it's getting to the point of frustration for me, anyways. Chef, what's up, Chef? What is crazy is that we win in Seattle and 49ers. Sorry, let me repeat this. Chef says this. What is crazy is that if we win and Seattle and 49ers lose, we are first in the division. And that's what I'm saying, right? That's the best thing that we got going for us right now, Chef. And you're 110% correct. So for the Cardinal fans out there, and I've already seen a lot of them that are kind of upset with me because I label a video of mine, can the Cardinals upset, the Chargers? Like, why are you mad? I'm just trying to bring a level of positivity in the air, right? That's all I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to bring a level of positivity. Hey, there's a chance any given Monday, you never know what's going to happen, and people try to crucify me. But you're right. If things work out for the Cardinals and if we turn this around, the best thing that we got going for us right now is that the division is wide open. That's the best thing that we got going for us right now is that the 49ers, that's supposed to be the best team in the NFC West, they're 3-3. Guess what? That's one win more than us. That's the big difference. Now, what we also got to realize as well is that the Rams are going to get healthy very, very soon. We do not want to get overtaken by the Los Angeles Rams because that team can be very, very scary once they get healthy. Now, that's another thing that we got to focus on, right? I think we all know that the Seattle Seahawks aren't the 3-0 team that most people wanted to crown them as. We know that the 49ers are not the best, but they're not healthy either. So you got two teams that the Cardinals needed to take advantage with trying to stack up wins as much as they possibly could. And the sad part and the unfortunate part is that the Cardinals couldn't take advantage of the situation that was laid out in front of them, right? You win against Green Bay, and the Cardinals were at the number one spot in the NFC West. That was the frustrating part. Now, another frustrating part is the way that we lost. The Cardinals lost by 3 points against Green Bay. Nobody would be batting an eye. Nobody would be giving up on the 2024 Arizona Cardinals. The problem is that we've already had 2 beatdowns in 6 games. We have 2 moral victories, and we won 2, right? So we're seeing an inconsistent team, and the Cardinal fans just want to know, what is this team? Who is this team? What is the identity of the 2024 Arizona Cardinals? And we just don't have that answer right now. And I think that kind of goes back into the frustration of, what is this team? Are we really progressing or are we not? Right. So there's still some games on this, roster. Or I'm sorry, on the schedule that the Cardinals could win. It's just they're going to need to be able to obviously, capitalize on those explosives, get the run game going, play clean football, and play complementary football is the best thing we got going for us as well. Or at least, hopefully, got the best thing going for us. So we'll see. My guy in the chat says, Cardinals need a scrimmage match against ASU, and whoever wins is our new NFL team. That's funny. I mean, it's going to be a constant joke. It's going to be a constant joke from here on out. If the Cardinals don't win against the Chargers, then I'm not going to say hit the panic button, but it's very, very close to hitting that panic button. Because at that very moment, you're just fighting for wins that probably, I don't know. I don't want to say don't matter, because it does matter, right? Progress is the name of the game, but you also don't want to just win games when things don't matter, right? This team needs to have some sort of culture and be have that winning mentality in their mind. And I don't know, it's frustrating to see. It's frustrating to see. What's up, Munch? He says, any news on Darius? The last that we've seen is that Darius, right now, I don't think he's actually practiced. That's the last thing I've seen. I don't think he's actually been in practice doing drills. But everything that we've heard from Monty Ossenfort and JG is that he's trending in the right direction. Honestly, don't even think he's going to play Monday Night Football. Like, if he plays, then, hey, that's a cherry on top of the ice cream. I just don't even think of it at this very moment, because I don't know if he's going to play or not. And if you guys do not know, I think he actually lost his mom this week as well. So if there's any more chance that the Cardinals can provide some more time for him, it's probably another week off, because obviously of losing your mom, and condolences to him if that's the case, that he needs more time. I wouldn't bat an eye at that if I was like a supervisor or anything. Like, if I was in charge of somebody playing or going to work, right, I wouldn't bat an eye and saying, yeah, you need more time alone or you need some more time off. That's completely fine. So it's an interesting situation to be in, because he hasn't been in practice. We've hearing good glowing remarks from Monty and JG, but I don't know. To me, don't even think he's going to play on Monday night. Maybe hopefully in week 8, but we'll see. Yeah. Ivan, what's up, Ivan? Cardinals will show out on Monday and fuel some great content. It's going to be week to week by team. I hope so, brother. I hope so, man. And I'm glad, we got to have some positivity in the air here for the Cardinals, because Yeah, you read these comments here, ladies and gentlemen, with the exception of this one. Ivan, you're definitely one of my positive guys, and I absolutely appreciate you here for being in the chat. There's a lot of people turned off with this Cardinals organization / team, but it is week to week. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out, because as of right now, the Arizona Cardinals have an opportunity to get the season, fixed. But being a Cardinal fan as long as I have, usually the history is not very kind to the Cardinals. Just gonna leave that at that. Let's see though. Fingers crossed. Martin, what's up, buddy? Appreciate the the $5 donation. Thank you, man. He says, I wonder if Marvin is happy with this Cardinals organization. Maybe he's not motivated. I don't know. Needs to get fixed ASAP. I mean, that's a different can of worms right there. But we'll dive into this. I promise you, we will dive into this. Once we get closer to the offseason, because it is weird to see this great talented player that has a dad that's already done it in the NFL, right? We see a dad that is the pro's pro, right? So we will talk about this if this continues. I don't know if it's the case. I don't think it is, but there's definitely some things that are in his mind, whether non-belief, whether he's having a hard time adjusting from the college level to the NFL. It's a big deal, right? You're talking about grown men compared to college kids, right? And I'm not there's some freak college kids out there that are like built like grown men. But what I'm saying is that if you're lining up, you know, week in and week out, alongside a grown man, it's sometimes it's harder, right? You got to redefine your tools. You got to do things differently. So to me, I don't think that this is the case right now. But of course, it's going to be a topic of conversation if the Cardinals don't fix it moving forward. But like I said, fingers crossed. I'm trying to think positive. And let's see what happens with the 2024 Cardinals. But appreciate you, man. Thanks, Martin. Zay Jones is playing though. What could he do? I mean, the way Kyler Murray spoke about Zay Jones, I think it's time to see something different. I do think. I think it's time to see something different. I like Zay. I like Greg Dortch. Don't get me wrong. I've been one of the biggest advocates of Greg Dortch, and I don't think his productivity so far is you know, a representation of, what he's done so far. I still do like Greg Dortch. I really do. But I think it's time to see what Zay Jones can do in the slot. And I'm not saying fully take him off the. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I want to see Zay Jones at least 35%, maybe even 40% in the slot. Let's mix it up and let's see what he can do. Maybe we need a bigger target. Maybe the fact of maybe Kyler Murray can't see in certain looks. And that's not, I'm not trying to make jokes. I'm being really serious here. Like, if we need a bigger wide receiver doing the drag routes, we need a bigger wide receiver having a quick curl route, and he needs a bigger body frame for him to throw it over here when the defender is right here, then maybe we need to just kind of make something up like that. Now, I want to see more Greg Dortch. Greg Dortch is one of my favorite players on this roster, but I think if we need to change it up, this might be the best time to do it. And I think that Zay Jones will be playing. If I were to, put some money on it, Darius Robinson, on the other hand, it's very tricky, especially with obviously the loss of a family member that happened this last week. So he might be, not ready to go for another week, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. George needs to be a trick play guy. I mean, it's crazy to me. Like this offense that we're running right now, and it might be attributed to like the offensive or the playbook maybe hasn't been fully opened. That's a possibility. Maybe the offense or the playbook hasn't been fully open because we can't convert these third downs. So we're seeing a smaller, minimal glance of what this offense is with the sample size that we are, because we can't convert third downs to save our lives, especially when the game is at 0-0. I'm curious to figure out if we have any of those in the playbook. Like, let's say, for example, a jet sweep, right? Why aren't we seeing wide receiving screens, right? Wide receiver screens. Why aren't we seeing that? Especially if we're trying to get Marvin Harrison Jr. involved. Put the ball in his hand. Let's see if we can do something. Let's see if he can make a man miss. Let's see if he can turn the corner and do something absolutely crazy when the ball's in his hand. Like, I'm not giving up on Marvin yet. I do think it's the job of the Arizona Cardinals offense of coordinator to get them involved, to get specific plays designed for them. And yeah, why don't we get Marvin Harrison Jr. on a jet sweep? I don't know. I mean, it's crazy to me. Like, why aren't we doing things designed to get this man the ball in his hand? Like, that does go on Drew, right? That does go on Drew. And they need to figure it out. You should open up the phone lines. I most likely will open up the phone lines on Monday. We're going to be closing up shop here pretty soon, so we're not going to open up the phone lines this time around, but we definitely will. I do love to get a glance of obviously what you guys are thinking over there, right? Because obviously at the end of the day, we're all Cardinal fans. We want them to succeed. We want to celebrate with each other, and the vibe right now with Cardinal fans is it's not there right now, and I mean like overly optimistic. They're not quite there right now. But we'll see, right? There's still 11 more games. Let's see what happens with the Cardinals. That would be fire a jet sweep for. Something. Something. It's hard for me to put my mind around a 4th overall pick and you're not getting specific design plays for him. And I'm not talking about like, oh, you're going to run a shallow cross here. Like this play is for you. No, I'm talking about a actual play designed for you. Jet sweep, wide receiver screen, right? Something where the ball gets out of your hands so darn quick that you're like, okay, well, that's where the ball should have gone because, that's what it is. Like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, oh, this play was supposed to go to Kyle or to Marvin Harrison Jr. and it was a deep post route, right? But like, that all depends on what, defense is on the field. So like, I'm ready to see more. Hopefully Zay Jones can help us out. Getting another big body wide receiver on here. And Zay Jones has done it, right? He's got some good hands. I'm not saying he's top 5 or top 15 or even top 20 wide receiver in the NFL, but I do think it will help. Or at least I hope it will help, because if we don't, then we're dealing with a different situation there. But I do think Zay Jones will open up the offense just a little bit more. And that's the type of stuff that we're going to need. Let's read a couple more comments and we're going to be closing up shop. Appreciate you guys for being here, by the way. Michael, what's up, buddy? He says, you can scheme up to 10 plays for him easy per game. I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. It's not rocket science. It really isn't. And even if you need to throw one of those games in the first drive, just do it. Just do it. Like, it's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me to hear these excuses over and over and over and over again. And we're just not getting this resolved. And this is not a bad mouth on Kyler. This is a bad mouth on the offense of not being creative enough to get this man the ball. That's all I'm saying. Let's go with Chef. What's up, Chef? No, seriously, though, Kyler needs to slang the ball more. I'm tired of seeing 194 yards or 204. Give me 300. Well, one thing that if you guys do not know, and I actually looked this up, the last time we saw a 300-yard game for Kyler Murray, do you guys remember when that was? When was the last time we saw a 300-yard game from Kyler Murray? I don't remember the specific game, or actually maybe I do. I think it was, I looked this up about 3 or 4 days ago. I think it's October of 2022. And I believe it was the Vikings game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just fact check myself. But you're right. Let me just fact check myself real quick. I think that's the last time we saw a 300-yard game from Kyler Murray. We don't get him very much. We don't get him very often. Let's see here. I think it's October. Let's see here. Here we go. Found it. Yep. October 30th, 2022. The Cardinals were 3-5. We lost to the Minnesota Vikings. And it was 306 yards throwing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And that was the last time we saw a 300-yard game from Kyler. Yeah, very unfortunate. We haven't seen a 300-yard game in a very, very long time. It's always been high 100s, even to 250s. It's kind of what we've been, that's the last time we've seen it. October of 2022, 300-yard game for Kyler. So I agree with you. Slaying the rock, but I just don't know if that's his forte, man. I don't know. It's wild. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing up shop. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I got to go ahead and get this Monty Ossenfort video out so you guys are fully aware of what Monty Ossenfort ended up saying. There was a good interview with him with Arizona Sports. I got to go ahead and put this video out, get the thumbnail ready to go. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. All the super chatters, thank you so very much. Alex, Martin, appreciate y'all. Everybody in the chat, thank you so very much. Do me a huge favor, smack up the like button on your way out. We're going to be closing up shop. Another huge shout out here to BetUS, sponsors of the Arizona Sports Fan throughout the entirety of the NFL season. Use promo code YouTube150. They will provide you 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposits. and 125% sign up bonus on your following too by using promo code YouTube150 upon signing up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day. And yes, sir, have a great rest of your day. And go Mike. I'm sorry, go Mike. Wow. Go Cardinals.